So where are you going this week, buddy? Do you know? Can you guess? We're going someplace where they speak German. There's very few places in the world that they speak just German. I mean, there are a few, but one in particular is the focus of our camera talk today. And it is Carl ZEISS, more affectionately today known as ZEISS. That's right. Do you know about ZEISS? I didn't think so. Wow, this is going to be an education for you and for everybody else out there. Who cares? Not everybody, of course, but some people. So get yourself something to eat or drink, get yourself comfortable, and let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
All right, this is, wait a second. This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. All right, don't fall off me now. All right, buddy. This week, just as the intro says, we're going to be talking about one of the historical players in the world of photography, and that is Carl ZEISS. That's right, Carl ZEISS. And why are we talking about Carl ZEISS? Well, because more recently there's been, no, that's Dr. Scott. But there's been, news out there that ZEISS has left the building.
What? No.
And what does that mean? Well, that means that there was a distributor, ZEISS distributor in Australia that confirmed through a blog website out there called Fred Miranda. And through his website, this distributor has confirmed that ZEISS is no longer going to be making any of those current models of things that we have all come to know and love, such as the Batis, the Milvis, the Otis, the Tuit, the Loxia, and any others that are out there that I can't think of. But and because out of all those, the only one I've got is the out of that, the more modern ones is the Batis. I have an 85 Batis. But I have a couple Sony ZEISS lenses, the 55 and the 35. And anyway. Well, again, what brought us to this point? Apparently sales haven't been really going through the roof as they had been throughout history, and they just decided to throw all their eggs into one basket and jump into the cine lens arena and stay there. That's it. It's been one of those things that's been in the stars. A lot of people have been talking about it, and so it's no great surprise to most of us out there. But it is, kind of sad when you think of the history. I mean, Carl ZEISS himself, the actual man, got into the optics world, making microscopes, just like Ernst Leitz of Leica and many others out there. They all got into microscopes way back. In Carl's case, it was 1846. And he began making microscopes, and then eventually he got to the point 1872, where he was selling at least 1,000 microscopes for the year, which was, in those days, because they're all handmade, it was pretty good. But he needed to beef up business. So what did he do? He recruited a physicist named Ernst Abbe, as well as a glass specialist named Otto Schott. And you may have heard of Schott Glass. Company is still producing some excellent optic glass these days. But anyway, once he brought those two on board, business started to really take off. And then unfortunately he passed away in 1888. And a couple of years later, Dr. Paul Rudolph joined the group. And of course, he designed a number of famous things. His most famous design, of course, was the eagle's eye, the Tessar. And that design was copied by lens producers all over the place because it was so successful. And then after the war, we're talking World War I, Rudolph left, hit the road, had enough of this. Said, I'm out of here. And Dr. Ludwig Berthollet came in, and he was another brilliant one, and created the sonar design, to which there's a bunch of those, the Biotars, the most famous Biogon, I can think of off the top of my head. But anyway, there was a few of them. And then after World War II, before World War II, 1935, there was a gentleman named Alexander, instead of Alexander, Alexander Shmukula. Can't remember his name exactly either, but something like that. Anyway, he's the one who created the coating, lens coating, for anti-reflective type coating. And that's where the red T came in. And the T stood for transparent. And we all know what transparent means, right? You could see through it. Yeah. So it was a transparent coating on top of the glass. And it was for anti-reflective. And then the T star became the famous line after that. Now, after World War II, or during World War II, no, after World War II. Was it before or after?
Don't care.
After World War II, when the Soviets came in and wanted half of the country, the town of Jena, which is where ZEISS was located, Dresden and Jena, which were the two optic towns, were part of now East Germany, therefore under Soviet control. And so ZEISS, in its efforts to keep going in the free world, opened its offices and factories in Oberkochen in West Germany. And so they were producing two different locations under the same name. And then after a while, I don't know how long after a while, but the Soviets decided that they wanted to create something of their own to make a bunch of money at. And so they basically rounded up all the optics engineers and equipment and manufacturing stuff and took it all off to Mother Russia. Which was the Soviet Union back then, and created a company called Kiev. And built their own cameras and lenses, like the Industar and Helios and so forth and so on, and Jupiter. Anyway, these are all rip-offs of German designed optics.
Holy crap and crap!
And then eventually the reunification came along and everybody went back to being one big happy family again. And that went on and on and on. And in 1973, they licensed themselves out to a company, Japanese company called Yashica. And so they created the Contax Yashica line. Which I have a Distagon and a 50, the planar 50mm 1.4, which are very nice lenses, by the way. And in 2013, they decided to drop Carl's name out of the scene and became just ZEISS. And then 2006, oh, actually I kind of skipped over 2006, didn't I? Jumped to 2013. 2006, we have, they're licensed again out to Cosina, who's also doing Voigtlander and whatnot, and they also collaborated with Sony. And that's where they kind of ended off. And then we didn't hear much about them for quite a while. The last 4 or 5 years, I haven't really said boo about anything. But they're, like I said, they got into cine lenses. They want to get into that. That's big bucks. They've been doing it for a while. Think of Stanley Kubrick's movie Barry Lyndon. Where ZEISS, or Carl ZEISS at the time, created a 50mm 0.7. Ooh, that's a pretty big optic, isn't it? They gave one to NASA, one to Mr. Kubrick, and they kept one in their own museum at their headquarters. And so they've got the history of cine lenses out there. Anyway, so that brings us up to speed with where we are today. And some people aren't too sad to see them go because the quality, there's been some quality issues here and there. People have been complaining about, the performance of some of these very high-priced lenses that they've been putting out. Like I said, I have Batis 85 1.8, and I'm happy with it. I think it was pretty good, but it's nowhere near the price of the Milvises and the Otises and whatnot. So I don't have the experience with some of the higher end ones, but other people do, and they've complained about them. So anyway, other than that, anything else you can think of about Carl or ZEISS? ZEISS, baby. Yeah, as I say, it's Carl ZEISS, the consumer lens. Rest in peace. I think they're gone and shall not return. So we'll see if Cosina puts out any new ZEISS lenses, or if Sony puts out any new ZEISS lenses, ZEISS labeled lenses that don't have anything to do with ZEISS anymore. We'll see. We don't know for sure, but we'll see. Anyway, that's all I can think about, or think to tell you about the situation with ZEISS. So, how about you think we do our little plug for our photo editing software? Who do we use? We use Luminar AI, and Luminar Neo. And Luminar Neo is a combination of Luminar AI and Luminar 4, and they have all these extensions and stuff. They make you pay for those, but I don't bother with the extensions because the software itself, the standalone, works just fine for me. What does AI mean, mister?
No.
No, you don't know? Are you going to guess?
No.
Sure you are. You're good at guessing. I'll give you 3. On the count of 3.
No.
1,
No.
2, 3.
No.
Oh, how wrong are you again? AI stands for artificial intelligence. I wish you had some.
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
Better than that intelligence you've been using lately. So, but why am I telling you about it? Or why are we telling you? Because that's what I use for editing my own photos. And it's economical. You know, it's economical. It's yours for life. Once you download it, you pay for it and download it. You know, there are no yearly subscriptions. All the updates are free. So on and so on. They have all kinds of educational stuff. They have what they call it coffee talk, or coffee something, coffee break. Forget what that is. Anyway, it's a little chat get together with other users, and they go on about what they've discovered and how they use it, and so on and so on and so on. Anyway, if you're interested in saving yourself $10, because as I said, it's already economical. So if you want to save $10, oopsie, what? If you want to save yourself $10, there's a link in the description below. Click on that. It'll take you to the
wonderful world of Camerland
website where you can purchase a copy for yourself and save yourself $10 by using our link. And what do they do with that $10 that they give people for a discount? They give it to us, right? Does Dylan like $10? Yeah, Dylan likes $10 because what do they call that? They call that kickback. Yeah, kickback. Yeah, kickback. So Dylan can get his $10. And you gonna share that with Daddy? Gonna share it with Mommy? You're not a sharer, are you? You're gonna spend it on floozies and other loose women out there.
Oh, behave. Yeah. Yeah, baby.
I know you. So, you and your girls. So, anyway, get yourself a copy of Luminar. What else can we say? How about we get people to help support us, right? The more people we get out there exposed to see our videos. The more what? The more bang for the buck we get out of it, right? Well, we don't get paid for this anyway, but. So how about you subscribe?
Bye.
Yeah? You want to do that side? Subscribe. And how about 4 fingers? You got 2, 2, 4? Wait, that's 5. Subscribe for 10 times. Subscribe. That's right. What else does YouTube like besides subscribers? You don't know?
Like big butts and I cannot lie.
They like the thumbs up. So if you give us a thumbs up, we'll give you a taste of the thumbs up girls. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Do 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 do. Thumbs up. All right. So that was the thumbs up girls. Who are we? I'm Dr. Scott. You're Dylan.
I'm Batman.
And together we are Modesty Photography. And we're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, vintage cameras, vintage lenses, really anything to do about photography. I mean, last week we talked about tilt shift adapters. We talk about anything. So come on back and we'll talk about something else. So who knows what's coming up next week? I mean, even I don't know.
I don't know.
So anyway, why should people come back? Why? Because you belong here. Right? And where do they belong? What's the name of this show? This was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right, and Dylan. Dylan, the squirmy one this week. What are you, 3 months and 3 years and 2 months now? Yeah. Yeah, so thank you for dropping by. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for putting up with Dylan's craziness. Thank you for just being you. That's right. Phew. So is that enough? Have you had enough? Yeah? Are you ready to say bye-bye? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bye-bye.
Here I am.